Thank you very much, Ali. And I think you have set the bar a little too high for me to speak on this particular subject. But to be honest, being a technologist myself, having spent many years in technology and intends to continue, this particular area of workforce is kind of something which is very close to my heart. Especially being in the IT industry, the main ingredient for success is people. Uh, I, along with many other leaders from IBM worldwide, we all believe, our common belief is that we are as good as our teams are. So that is why this particular topic of how the future workforce would look like is something which is something that we really spend a lot of time on, and we want to understand. And I'm here to share my thoughts on this particular area. So I was just listening to the panel discussion, and a lot of very useful insights were being discussed. And I would just want to continue from there. So we know what happened in last 1.5 years. COVID came in, a lot of things changed. A lot of things that when I meet with the C-suite, with C-level executives from different organizations within Pakistan and at times outside Pakistan, the common belief or the common thing that I get to hear is that we weren't expecting ourselves as organizations to adapt to new things so quickly as we did when the COVID came in. So, and when we change the way we work, a lot of things around it change automatically. The culture changes, behaviors changes, how we spend our time, our priorities changes. A number of things continue to change when such a drastic change comes and hits us right in the core, which I call the human freedom. So for a very long time, we were not allowed to visit restaurants. We were not allowed to go to cinemas. At one for a very decent amount of time, I remember we could not take even our children to parks and all. We were, not that the government restricted, we were scared. We just didn't want to go out. So COVID actually directly impacted, as I look at it, as human on the human freedom aspect, and that is what makes it something that we can't ignore. The impact started, but the repercussions will continue, and those repercussions, what we call the new normal, right? So when it comes to workforce, when so many things are changing, COVID, to be honest, was not the only thing. As I look at COVID was a catalyst. What was happening throughout between 2010 until 2019, when from technology, on the technology front, is things were changing. Technology was evolving very sharply, very swiftly. I mean, we saw the e-commerce boom back in late 90s, early 2000s, and then cloud came in, and then eventually artificial intelligence. For example, a company like IBM, we've been working on it for many decades, but it reached to a maturity level where it started to become part of the businesses. So the technology was already there. When it comes to workforce, things were changing. The required skills were anyways that started to change. World Economic Forum, IBM Business Value Studies, IDC, Gartner, different forums had been forecasting for many years that things are going to change. The required skills are going to change. And what COVID did, COVID became the catalyst. It just, speed up everything that people were anyways expecting. So while I've explained the drivers, let us see what is going to happen to the workforce of future. And rather than just only giving my own point of view, I would rather want to refer to some of the very credible reports publicly available. Any one of you can go and have a look at those. So World Economic Forum states that by 2025, time spent on current tasks that we do in our jobs at work between humans and machines will be equal. Just imagine that their forecast is that by 2025, half of the work that we had been doing for centuries and all will actually be taken over by machines. At the same time, the World Economic Forum also highlights something very critical. They say that by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by a shift in in the division of labor between humans and machine. 85 million jobs in the future by 2025. But what is the interesting part? So the study continues, and study says that while these 85 million jobs will be displaced, 97 additional, 97 million additional jobs will be created to be taken over between humans, machines, and algorithm, the software code, as we call it. So these are very interesting numbers. And what I can tell all of you is that being in the IT industry, I have already started to witness this and I'm not referring to North America or to Europe or to Japan. I'm talking about our own country, Pakistan. I have started to witness how the jobs are shifting towards machine and algorithms. Having said that, and as World Economic Forum has also listed, it does not mean that the human need will be finished and we will not need any humans. We will continue to need humans, but with new skill sets. Again, if I refer back to World Economic Forum and if I refer back to the top 10 skills of 20 by 2025, it talks about analytical thinking and innovation. It talks about complex problem solving, critical thinking, technology use, monitoring and control, technology design, programming. Programming is the new language that not only humans, but computers and machines also understand. So these are the new skills that we as human race would need. And with these skills and a combination of technology is what would make us valuable. All the repetitive tasks that we do in today's work environment is absolutely shifting. And so I don't want to predict future that is going to happen in 10 years. I am already witnessing a shift and we can't stop it because the I would say the power of compute, memory, processing, analysis that machines have are superior to ours on a standard. I'm talking about regular work. The way softwares and machines automate processes is much faster than how we can do with our physical limitations, right? So new skills will be required. The future workforce is going to be very different. Another, I would like to quote another statement again from World Economic Forum. They say that if we are able to close the skill gap, which is created today, it will add $11.5 trillion in the global GDP. Just imagine that with technological changes expedited by COVID, the new requirements, the new skills, and where we are. The gap is $11.5 trillion of GDP. Now, we need to understand, and everyone, all the audience here on this call need to understand how the workforce is going to look like. So I was just trying to set up a kind of a pretext of what the numbers tell us, what the trends tell us, what are the drivers. I strongly believe that, and this again, something which has already started. In about 5 years' time, the CEOs of different organizations will be bifurcating their workforce in 3 major areas. The first would be human resource. The second would be bots and the software bots. And the third will be algorithm. These are going to be 3 major elements of any workforce working in any organization. Again, something which is not too far away. It is something which has already started. Even in Pakistan, I can tell you, a number of organizations are adapting to software bots. for their routine standard work. They want the bots, and the bots are much cheaper. Uh, for complex decision making, because there's so much of data that's being generated and it's impossible for humans to sit and analyze all of that, the dependence is moving on to the artificial intelligence and data analytics. So again, coming back to my point, the workforce of future is going to be based on three elements: human resource, bots, be it software bots or robots, and uh, and algorithm or models, as we call them under artificial intelligence. I came across a very interesting statement lately on Wall Street Journal, where a discussion and an argument was going on if the bots should start to pay income tax. I mean, this is the kind of conversation that has started and it's going to come. Now, what can we do to help our country, our industry, our communities to be able to adapt to those skills which will be required? So there are a number of things which is going on, right? So first of all, we need to understand, and all people like us who are in different leadership roles need to come onto such forums and also interact with the industry, interact with people, and tell them what are going to be the requirements of the future, right? What exact skills do we need? For example, I will refer to some of my research data from a report from McKinsey, which says that any activity that you do on a computer, first thing, it's going to be work from home for you if it's between you and your machine. Then, second thing, if it is a routine business, it's going to go to bots very soon. They also predict that in advanced economies, even, and this is a report from 2021, approximately 25% workforce would have to visit their offices just once a week. It's not that the rest of the remaining 4 days, they will not be doing anything, but I'm just trying to reflect the changes which are coming in terms of workplace, in terms of digital skills, and in terms of workforce that we all should be ready for. When we talk of new skills, for example, and I'll give you a very primitive, very basic example. Grocery stores, we have salesmen, serving you. With the .com and e-commerce bubble, not bubble, rather e-commerce transformation back in late 90s, and then COVID again expediting things, probably we would not need those people there in those grocery stores. Rather, we would need a much bigger workforce who will be responsible to deliver whatever you have ordered from point A to point B. Similarly, we can go on and analyze that what are going to be the changes. Yes, there are certain industries where physical proximity is necessity. Construction work or all civil works, warehouses, those jobs are going to remain. But a number of these jobs are going to change. Coming back to the main point, which is the future of workforce. We need to play a critical role in upskilling, identifying for every industry. I mean, if I make any statements here, those are going to be most relevant to my own industry, but for every industry, what are the new skills which are required? We need to work on those. We need to know that bots and algorithms are going to be an integral part of our workforce, and the businesses, only those businesses would survive who plan this and who take actions on this. So this is one of the critical thing that we all need to understand. As IBM, what we are doing in Pakistan is that we have an open PTech program, which lists down all the emerging skills which are required globally. And from last year, it has been extended to everyone. Anyone in Pakistan can go register themselves. I mean, besides that, we have other programs of skill build for adult learners, Similarly, IBM Digital Nation is another program that we ran. I mean, all of these programs are there to basically help people. And most of these, for example, Open PTech is available in Pakistan. These are free of charge. People can register, identify the skills that they need to work on, and build themselves. So thank you very much, everyone, for being so patient and listening to me. I hope I was able to convey the message. Please remember again, before I leave, 3 points. The future workforce is human resource, it's software and robots, and it's piece of algorithm, which we call our machine learning AI algorithm. This is going to be it. So thank you very much, everyone.